Everyone, Christian here, and you're watching Barrel Proof. So, we are in Nokomis, Florida, and on the side here it says beer, wine, soda, and bourbon. So, specifically bourbon. Because of that, this is the liquor hole, and it is a lesser known spot. It's relatively new, it's about 10 months old. And a disclaimer, I do know the people here, so they do know I'm here, and we're going to take a walk in. There's a view of their July deals, and they're open relatively late for a liquor store in this area. So we're walking in here. You can see some white wines. Store pick of Hemingway rye. I have tried this. I believe it's 116 proof, 109. That is definitely a bourbon friendly rye. And there's a bunch there, and it is cask strength. So we see Henry McKenna, some High West, Blue Run, Bardstown, Dark Arts, some Frank August. I always walk into stores and I don't know much about Frank August, but if someone wants to tell me more about them, happy to try it out. So we have the Chicken Cock, we have Garrison Brothers Small Batch. I like the single barrel better. The Double Oak there for $99. We have Rabbit Hole. And if you don't live in the South, you probably don't see a lot of short barrel, but they're a great company out of Atlanta. That is their toasted small batch for $61. That is a good deal. There's one of our local distilleries in Florida. That's their 88 proofer for $55. We have Woodford Reserve, some Four Roses, 13th Colony regular bourbon, Russell's single barrel reserve, $72. That is a pretty good deal. And we go down here, we have Old Forester Whiskey Rose Series, 1920, 59. Jack Daniel's single barrel proof, one of the best deals in the whiskey world. I think that's 132.2 proof. I always check the proofs on that. I look for the ones that might be up to 140. Savage and Cook, I believe they were winemakers, and then they started finishing barrels. We got some other stuff, the bottom shelfers, and there's the two XOs, all the double oaks. We have all the Elijah Craig you would want, toasted barrel, small batch, and rye. There's Bernheim barrel proof. There's full proof, single barrel, and small batch, $17.92. Wild Turkey 101, one of the best deals in the business. Rare breeds also excellent, better, but for the value, the 101 is one of my favorites. Now, this is a bottle that I haven't seen many places. It looks like the other, just Amberana and honey. This is the maple syrup with it's the rye with finished in maple syrup barrels with toasted Amberana oak staves. So it's called the Ripple Rye, and I believe it's like 110 proof, and that is some amazing stuff. So we have a lot of stuff you'll find in number of stores: Whistle Pig, Sagamore, you got Bullet, some more. These are all the ryes here. Excellent rye there, Pikesville. I can't say enough about them. Short Barrel Rye, good stuff as well. 13th Colony Rye out of Georgia. And let's see, this is for under $30. This Bottle and Bond Rittenhouse, that is great stuff. Obviously, there you have their Sazerac Rye and the Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye, also a great deal. Have both those bottles. There's some of that Old Fourth out of Atlanta. I think that's MGP distilled in Georgia. And then you have Benchmarks making an appearance. You got the single barrels for $24.99. Another great deal in the business. I mean, for the bang for the buck, those Benchmark single barrels, you put them up against some higher Buffalo Trace products, and they will definitely punch above their price range. More Whistle Pig. I got a bottle of this one time, this Alfa Romeo, and got it in a trade. And I never tried it, but if someone's tried that, let me know in the comments. Let's see what else we have. Pinhook. This is the almost 120 proof. So, and then this is their store picks here. They have just a, so there's a double, you guys have a double oaked, and then this is just a regular, was it a one, oh, it's a 104.
Single barrel.
Just, it's just a single barrel, okay.
This
So,
is 116 proof as well.
okay. Yeah, so this is going to be higher proof double oak. This is just a single barrel select out of Starlight, which is Indiana distilled, Indiana bottled and aged. So it's all, it's not like MGP contracted. They have their own distillery, so which is great. And you don't mind if I walk around? Cool. And all the 99 banana flavors you'll ever want. And you got them in 100, 200 mils and 50 mils, I think. So. And there's also plenty, before I go behind there, you got all these great tequilas now. I haven't tried all these, tried some of them. This is, you guys can tell me which ones you prefer here, but I have tried the Casa Noble Blanco, the Mi Gente Cascanes, the Ocho Plata, and the Lalo. There is, yeah, those are the ones that I've tried. If you see anything that is worth a try, let me know, and go behind. You guys, this is where you guys had the Buffalo Trace store picks. Yeah, that was the barrel it picked. Yeah. So there's the Whistle Pig 12 and 15 year. Now I went to a store in Maryland, and there's the 12 and 15. This camp stock, this was going for $157 there. I don't know where they came up with that price, but it was kind of interesting that they happen to, have over double. But every other place I go to, I've seen it $89.99. I've seen it, between $70 and $90. So I'm kind of curious where they came up with the 156. But some more new Whistle Pigs that are out. The Snout to Tail, that's not new, but this Liquid Death is new with the can opener top, which is kind of cool. And because that's
Piggyback rye, that's Whistle Pig too.
yeah, there's the piggy bank, and then Booker's for 109.
Barry's match.
Yeah, and Woodford Reserve Madeira cask. Now there's some scotches here that I'm not familiar with, but I'm sure someone here would be. That someone in the comments can mention that. And then here's a little bit more of the allocated area. Now this is that 15-year. I think it's that buff turkey, that Buffalo Trace Wild Turkey mix. And then they have a 10 and an 8.
Single barrel.
Oh, the single
this
barrel.
Is the case study for
okay. Yeah, the thing is, they out of all the whiskeys that I see in like in just kind of like a lot of stores, Frank August has such little information put out about it, so it's kind of hard to know what's in there. Not much is put on the actual bottle itself. Short barrel, that's the same from over there, but this is the double oaked rye and the double oak whiskey, both at 99. Great bottles. The Angel's Envy cast strength, and then you have Sealbox, which is an online company that started making their own, or they started aging their own whiskey. And this is the Saint. This is something you're not going to find anywhere outside of Florida, most likely. This is a cast strength, 114 proof. 179. If you really want to try Florida whiskey, that's probably the best bet right there. So I don't know if I have this tilted very well, but that French oak is going to be, I'm curious what that tastes like. It looks like when I see whiskey in a case like that, I always think that the box is great, but the whiskey isn't going to be as great as the boxes. Some of the stuff that you get, some of the best whiskey, in my opinion, doesn't come in any box. Like when you see like Double Eagle very rare versus like just Eagle Rare and Eagle Rare 10. But yeah, there's going to be August 16th here. There's going to be a big, it's like a event where there's going to be a lot of giveaways, that sort of thing. You said
1 year anniversary.
Okay. And there's going to be a lot of allocated items. Now, when there are, you guys notice you haven't seen a lot of allocated stuff. They do get it in. I've seen it here.
It goes quick.
What's that? It goes quick because they sell it for just a little bit over MSRP. Definitely very fair pricing. It's not. I wouldn't even consider it secondary at all. It's just a little bit, like a 10%, maybe maybe a 20% markup. But you're not going to see 200, 300%. So I didn't get this level here, but a lot of people look for this bottle. and they say they can't find it. But for $94, that's the cheapest I've seen it in any store. Obviously, Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond is going to be a great pick there.
West lineup.
Yeah, the whole high. If you need High West, it's all right there. So, you know, there's and there's the
Casanova.
the Casa Noble mix. I forgot to put mention that up there, but there's a Peerless. I think it's a double oak bourbon and.
Yes.
But
no, that's not toasted.
Oh, it's a toasted oak. Okay, yeah. Because the bottles
You got the. This is rabbit hole.
the rabbit hole cask strength, yeah.
Barrel proof for 75.
Yeah. There's but for store picks there's the Hemingway Rye and there's the two Starlights. There was the Buffalo Trace, but there's gonna be there's another store pick coming in.
Yes.
And then
We will have tasting room eventually here too.
okay, yeah, so there will eventually be a tasting room. There's some Dark Arts. Some of the other I only know the Rye.
That's the blend right there.
Okay, yeah.
One. And you can always tell the age
Mizunara,
statements
yeah.
because right in the center, there's always a number, and that's the
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know how many
Yeah.
different Dark Arts.
The funny thing is, Dark Arts, when I've seen it around, you just don't see the whole lineup in one store usually. Usually a store will get one or two different bottles, but you won't see some stores will get the whole thing, but it's kind of uncommon, so.
We have 6 different Dark Arts.
Yeah, that's a lot for one store to have all that, but yeah, so this is the Liquor Hole in Nokomis, Florida. You should stop in if you're coming through, if you're in the Sarasota area, if you're coming through from say Tampa to Fort Myers or Miami to Tampa, you know, it's definitely worth a stop if you are a whiskey person. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Give it a like if you did. Consider subscribing for more whiskey videos, and I will see everyone next time. Enjoy.